Sorry.
Okay. Oh, that was so fun. Thank you, ladies. Little Nicole and all Johnny's kids and all you moms. Thanks so much. That was a lot of fun. So hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Let's get the Kent House here on Spotlight 2. Let's get you unmuted when we can. Hey, everybody. Welcome. I don't know if there's anybody new out there tonight, but welcome to Solution Group. We have a couple announcements here before we get rolling. And Becky can jump in, Becky or Bill can jump in at any point, but a couple announcements. Thank you so much to all of you bringing the donations for the auction. They've been rolling in. It's really good news. We have so many cool things rolling in, which is super exciting for us. The actual deadline is next Tuesday, so you still have a full week. And thank you to all of you who have already gotten stuff to us so we can kind of see where we're at. That's been so helpful. So thank you. If you haven't been able to drop it off, you can reach out to us. Let me get these people muted here and let these people in. People are still rolling in. Mute. Okay. If you need help arranging for a drop off or pickup, just reach out to me or Becky. We have some drop-off locations up north, Marysville area. We've got Lake Tapps, we've got Kent, we have Tacoma. So we have all kinds of drop-off locations for your items. So for those of you who are still procuring items from businesses, just reach out to us and let us know, and we will help make arrangements for that. Whether or not you can drop it off at a drop-off point, or we can have someone come pick it up. We'll make it as easy as possible for you. So 1 week left. Thank you so much. Tickets, we just had a burst of table sales in the last few days. So yay. Thank you, everybody. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, please do so. We're getting down to three and a half weeks away, 4 weeks, something like that. And the sooner that you get registered and get your tickets, the easier it makes it on us arranging the total numbers and arranging the food and all that. So if you can get those taken care of just as soon as you can, that would be awesome. Becky and Bill, do you have anything to add?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. I think everybody's just rolling with it. Everybody's still out there working. They're hanging posters. They're spreading the word. So I think it's pretty clear. If anybody has any questions, if anything's not clear, please just reach out. And then Moms Group. We've been having a lot of fun, ladies, on Wednesday mornings at 11 o'clock. So for all of you ladies out there, please join us. We call it Moms Battlefield, the mob, but it's for all ladies. So grandmas, aunts, sisters, all the ladies. So you are invited to join us on Wednesday mornings at 11 a.m. It's just on Zoom, and all of us ladies get together and have our coffee together. And we talk about the topic from the night before. We get to know each other more. It's really become a really fun time and a highlight of the week. So please join us. If you need the link, you can reach out to me or Becky for the link and join us tomorrow. Okay, so if you're new out there, let me introduce you to Mr. Kyle Munkers. Now, let me get it. Nope, wrong camera. Let's try again. Okay, so Mr. Kyle Munkers, he's usually in Kent, but he's down here in Vegas with us. He's a manager here at Rebuild Recovery, and he also brings us Kyle's Corny Comedy Corner.
Mm-hmm.
So take it away, Kyle.
All right. Okay. You guys know that Bruce Lee had a twin brother who's a vegetarian? Bronco Lee.
Benji, you need to spotlight yourself. We can't see him.
Oh, let's spotlight.
Well, at least you heard it.
How's that?
Good.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful. One time, one of my sixth grade teachers asked me to name 2 structures that could hold water. I was like, well, damn. I was catching up with the neighbor over there next door, and he's getting pretty angry because his wife likes to sunbathe naked. Personally, I'm on the fence. We have a special guest with us for a while, Teresa. This is a very Bundle. This is his girlfriend. Fun fact about Teresa: before she dated Bundle, she was dating a clown. Yeah, some pretty big shoes to fill. What's big, white, and can't climb trees? A fridge. You know the Big Apple is. You know the Big Apple is New York. Do you know where Minneapolis is? My friend Tony keeps asking me to not say his name backwards. Why not? All right. I accidentally took Angie's cat's meds. I took its meds. Go and ask Meow.
All right. Thank you, Kyle. Nice to be live here in Vegas with Mr. Kyle Munkers.
I was noticing Kyle on there and now me. I think we got to do something about the lighting.
Go dark.
Somebody mentioned it looks like I'm doing one of those terrorist videos.
It is a little dark.
Good mom.
Yeah, I'm looking at sending a message to the US. I have all your kids under my control. I need you to meet some of my demands.
Laugh for him.
Yeah.
Brown little girl in there.
Huh?
You turn off the camera like this.
If we just go dark,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
lamp
gonna work.
next to you, or at least
I think maybe turn that one over
Yeah,
there.
let's try that one over there. Let's just try a couple things.
It's not light experts.
Everybody's a light.
It doesn't do much. We'll have to put one right here.
Yeah.
Selfie cam.
Oh, okay, Jasper's gonna
It's okay.
get us hooked up. It would be nicer.
It's all right. I think the person was just teasing me.
But you've been thinking about it.
Well, not until I just saw Kyle up on the screen.
So, if someone could help me out here real quick and answer Riley's question, I can't type it in the chat, Riley. If somebody could, copy and paste, he's asking what the ID is. He must need to give it to somebody. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm messing with buttons. So if someone could help me out and answer Riley's question out there, that would be awesome. Oh, sorry. We're hanging in there. Okay, here we go. We're trying to get some lighting here and then we'll get rolling.
Yeah, put in the strip exterior.
Oh.
No, you're right.
Great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I see.
The gaffers.
Hold on one sec, guys.
Maybe a best toy group. Yeah.
Ooh.
No. Okay, that's fine.
The red
Oh,
one.
Yeah, terrifying, dude.
Yeah.
It's right in me.
Is there a white?
Is there?
A white option?
Get the camera will adjust to make it brighter.
Yeah.
It's okay. We're just gonna go.
Okay, we'll work on that.
We'll work
this
on it
week.
next week.
You know what? Yeah, well, Jasper can advise us on what little light to buy down there. So we'll work on that next week, guys. Now that it's getting darker, earlier. So we'll work on that. Yeah, we're good to go.
I lived my life for 37 years. It was news to me. It was real news to me when I got into recovery. I hadn't heard it. Maybe I wasn't keeping up with the times of what was going on in the world about addiction. I was too busy doing it. So I didn't really listen to anyone talk about the causes of addiction or why I did it, or somebody's logging in. So I wasn't ever like keeping up with Dr. Drew or Gabor Mate or whoever was speaking about addiction when I was in addiction. And when I got into recovery, lo and behold, they told me that it was a pain reliever, that somehow I'd been taking drugs as a antidote to, was it antidote or antidote? Antidote to maybe my trauma, or maybe what ails me, or maybe some kind of thing that I was in pain. And I don't ever remember being in pain in my life. I remember being bored. I remember my job sucked. I remember, not wanting to sit around the house. I remember that drugs made me feel really good. I loved the way they made me feel. I remember that was very pleasurable when I did that. And I think for me, pleasure caused pain. So I started getting a taste of what real pleasure was with opiates, and what real pleasure was with booze, and what real pleasure was with cocaine. And I just wanted to walk that higher path all the time. I just want to live up here and feel good. I never really considered that it was a pain reliever, but as I've went on and got into sobriety and now kind of took a look at what was going on with me and what's going on with other people, and I just come to this, realization that drug addicts to me are no different than anyone else. There's just a buffet of pain relievers that human beings are using in the world. And it's, to me, I imagine like a house, and you're just in a house with many rooms, and in the house and in the living room, there's pain. And there's, everyone's not doing always what you want. It's sometimes not enjoyable to be in there. And I think and so then people want to go to a room because they want a pain reliever. And each of the doors says like pain reliever on the door. And you can just open it up and see what's in there. And I think somebody would open it up and there'd be like one cigarette. And somebody just go in that room and sit there and smoke the cigarette. And then in another room you go in and there's like a slot machine in that room. Just one slot machine. Mom's in there just hammering away at the butt. And then you go to another room and there's like a big lemon meringue pie sitting in the middle of the room, or some cookies, and then you go to another room and there's maybe sex or porn or whatever there is. And everybody kind of just picks their own room. And then in one room, there's just anger. That's just when people go to relieve their pain, really. They go there and they just get really angry and they don't feel they can blame other people. And they go in there and that's pain. And then one room is just light complaining. You can just go in here and complain about it. Just complain about life. So you can just go to any of these rooms after you leave the living room, and you can just kind of go but none of the rooms is it just empty. Nobody would go in there. Nobody would go, I'm in pain, and the door says pain reliever, and they just go into this empty room. It wouldn't work. Maybe some rooms have the gym. People like to go to the gym to relieve pain. People like to work to relieve pain. I'm a workaholic. Yeah, you're in a lot of pain. You need to get out of that. So I go on to kind of look into pain and see what it is. And then lo and behold, you pick up Eckhart Tolle, and there it is right there in the book. And for the first time, I'm 40 years old. 40 years old. And he said it just so perfectly. And to me, it was like the world had changed immediately. It just says pain is resistance to what is. And I read that sentence and I was like, I remember I was actually at the Muckleshoot. I was at the Muckleshoot Casino playing in a poker game, reading Eckhart or listening to it on Audible. And he said, pain is resistance to it, what is. And I wanted to stop the game right there. I wanted to go, wait, guys, listen. All we have to do is not resist the way it is. And we don't have to be in pain. And to me, that was like this real new thing. And it also showed me that I was in pain, that I was always resisting the way the current moment was. I was resisting how slow it was, or I was resisting how it's not enough, or I was resisting having to, I couldn't even take the time to shave my face. I couldn't take that kind of time. All the things that were menial tasks were very difficult for me to get through. I couldn't cook a meal. I actually remember standing in front of a microwave and having it say 3 minutes and being just filled with anger. Like this is going to take 3 minutes, and just sitting in the kitchen with angst. Like, I can't believe I got to wait for this Hot Pocket or whatever. Maybe a burrito, Yeah. And you're just like, how dare these people that made a microwave bill say, you can't cook a burrito quicker than 2 minutes?
2:30.
2:30. It's crazy. The popcorn, you're waiting for that to go. I used to always pull it out too early. Be half bag of popcorn popped because I couldn't wait, Now I'm pretty much master at popping popcorn. I can just do it by the sound.
Yeah.
So then it came to me that I saw it and I went, oh wow. So really, pain is an event. So this quick thing of resistance, and it just comes on quick. And there's just like this resistance, and our body is in pain, and we just don't like the way the current moment is. We just hate it. And all of a sudden, right when we hate it, then everything in our body starts protecting us from this current moment with blame or with whatever it is. And we just hate that moment. But then there's this thing now, if you've understood that pain is resistance to what is, you can get yourself to a point where suffering is optional, where you will experience pain, but you no longer have to suffer over it. Because see, pain is just the time from event to acceptance. So all of our pain is just in this incremental time from event to acceptance. Something happens, and the moment I get to a place where I go, that happened. That's it. And it's this moment of neutrality where there's no judgment about what happened. It's like we talk about parents that come to us, and what we try to get them to say when they're sitting in a consultation, a lot of the time is we ask them to just go, my kid's a fentanyl addict. Just accept it. Just say what it is. Just say, my kid is a heroin addict. Not with any judgment. Not like, my kid's a fentanyl addict and this is tragic. Nothing. Just a simple statement. My kid's a drug addict. There it is. You don't have to suffer over it now. It's just what it is. It's the circumstances that we now have to deal with. So I started learning about this. I love this topic because then pain has to do also with love, and it extends into like loving ourselves. And, I hated that thing when someone said, you need to learn to love yourself. I just hated when I heard that. I also hated people that say they love themselves. And I didn't like it when people said, I hate myself, because I thought both of those things sound so arrogant. The arrogance to hate yourself, the arrogance to love yourself. To me, that's what it looked like. It was this arrogance. And I didn't know what it meant, and still don't know what it meant. I didn't know what it means for a long time until I had to define it for myself. But I didn't know what love myself means. Does that mean that you're on a roll? Does that mean that your circumstances are killing it right now? And your hair looks good, and you just got the new hairdo, and you just got the nails done, and you just got the new clothes, and now you love yourself, and your money's right, and you got a good job, so you're like, I love myself now. And then when the money's bad, you don't got a job, and your hair is mangy, you just go, I hate myself now. See, both of those are so weird, because what are we really hating and loving? And it's just this hate and love for my current circumstances. That's it. How would you even find yourself to love yourself? How would you find yourself? What would you even do? I see all the memes on Facebook. You gotta love yourself. And it's always these people talking about self-care. And self-care always has to do with a massage. It's like, how can a massage make me love myself? It's always a massage or nails. It's like self-care. It's like, that's your body. That's body care. You're just getting a massage. How is that self-care? So I started having to look into what loving myself really meant. And what it meant was that there is an experience of being me. There is this experience of being inside here that I love. And when I love it, it's when I'm in acceptance. So when I'm in acceptance, I love being me. I love being in this experience. When I say being me, I love being in this experience. I love the experience of art being in acceptance. I don't love the experience of art when I'm in non-acceptance. When I'm in non-acceptance, being in here sucks. It's like tight, and my heart rate's going, and I'm just irritable and restless and discontent, and I go, man, I hate this. And so loving myself began to be this thing where I could go, well, the more time I spend in acceptance, the more I can love myself. So I spend all my day in acceptance, no matter what pain shows up, no matter what shows up, to just be able to go, oh, even when I'm in pain now, to go, oh, loving myself is accepting this. This is sadness. This is frustration. This is anger. This is all stuff that I can accept. I can accept any amount of anger. I can accept any amount of, and you get to a point where you learn that just, okay, now pain is what causes me to not love myself. And if I can get to a place where
Rice, maybe.
fun.
Oh,
So if I can get to a place where I can, be why, it's like I gotta love myself to love other human beings, and to love myself, I can't hate my own pain. I've got to be able to accept my own pain, and to do that would be wise. I used to do a visual with people, and I'd say, just imagine that there was two white balls. Okay, there's just two white balls, and they're floating in the air. And you're looking at these white balls floating in the air. And all of a sudden, one of the white balls gets infiltrated with like a redness, an irritant. And when that white ball gets kind of, when it gets infiltrated with this redness, it starts going nuts. It starts just running around the room, or just floating around the room very fast, zigzagging everywhere. And you can see it just trying to, get away from itself. And then finally, it just like kind of calms down a little later and just kind of fizzles out. And then the redness is kind of just still there. It's now a red and white ball kind of floating around. And then there's another white ball, and this white ball the redness starts coming in. It's floating beautifully, and the redness starts coming in, and all of a sudden the ball stops, and it sits there, and it waits. And the redness is in there, and it covers the whole ball and goes all red, and it sits there and waits. And then the redness starts dissipating, starts leaving, and the ball doesn't move until it's all white again. And then it moves. And you would just see those two balls and know which one was wise. You would know which one is capable of love. You know which ball loves itself and which one wants to run from itself. And so you just see this thing of like, yes, that's what we're all here to do. Let's talk about it. We're in pain. Can we admit that? Can we admit that it's not pain like this long-standing generational trauma and all this shit that they pile on? It's like standing in line at the bank. Sucks. And the redness starts coming in when I have to stand in line at the bank, and I start getting restless. That's pain. It's like waiting in traffic. It's like having somebody say something that I don't like in a conversation. It's like arguments. It's like way different than like this pain that happened 10 years ago and we're still like carrying with us. It's not the same. So again, going back to like, okay, well, let's see. I'm going to need to connect and love people for me to stay sober. And in order to do that, I'm going to have to first love myself. And to love myself means that I have to be wise in my time of my own pain. I have to shorten up this time period from event to acceptance. Somebody said something I don't like. Some people carry that for 3 days. They call everybody. They whine on the phone to 10 different people. They tell the story over and over and over again. I can't believe so-and-so said this to me, and just whining and griping and venting. And they carry that little event for 3 days. So I had to look into why people do that. Why would people carry a little event for 3 days? Why would they let that happen? And then you get into this other part of this. I said suffering is optional. But I think people are now finding meaning in suffering. They are finding meaning in their victimhood. They're finding validity in who I am through who wrongs me. So if more people wrong me and I can talk about all the wrong people, I seem to feel more important. I feel more important being able to say, these people suck and I'm good. And so you just see it. You see the lack of wisdom there. Now, in that time where you went from event to acceptance, but never made it and just carried on, you were incapable of loving another human.
In that time,
in that non-acceptance, because you don't love your own experience, how could you love somebody else's experience? How could you come from a place where you can look at somebody else and go, wow, I love you? So you just can't, because you're too busy milling around in your own validity and suffering and importance and unwiseness and all that. It's just, you're just milling around in there. Oh, I'm upset. Good for you. I like when people ask me if they shouldn't I have the right to be upset? Yeah, you do, but do you want to be? I have a right to be angry. Of course you do. Go ahead and do that then. It's just dumb. There's just no wisdom in it. And when you're angry, you can't love. And when you're upset, you can't love. See, when we're angry and upset, when we're unwise, and when we're that ball running around the room, we're running from ourselves. How could we love someone else? And how could anyone love us? Because they just see us jittery and restless and irritable. And this is what the ball does. See, we as human beings, we don't just move around. What we do is sit still and bitch. We just sit still when the irritant comes in and we go, this isn't my fault feeling this way. And then somebody, and it's always like, it's like an epiphany for people. Like you see a post on Facebook, like, I need to love myself. But it's always advice. You should love yourself like I do.
Yeah.
And it's like, you were yelling today earlier.
Talk about
Yeah, at the late, you weren't loving yourself today, so stop. Because to love myself all day is difficult. If I want to consider that myself is just the experience of being me. Now, if I want to consider that loving myself is this circumstantial thing that has to do with my body image, that has to do with this my hairline, that has to do with my shoes, that has to do with my car, well, that is going to be a very tumultuous relationship between me and myself. But if you consider that yourself is just your experience of being you, how much time did you enjoy it today? And how much time were you wise? And how much time were you ready to give love? And how much time were you in there milling around in your own victimhood, complaining to other people, not loving yourself, lacking wisdom? See, wisdom. This wisdom is this thing that comes when we can actually love our pain. We can love our pain. It started happening for me early on, about 6 years into recovery. I started digging my own pain for the first time. I'd learned like, oh man, this is sadness. And I remember my dog was going to die the next day, I thought. So Woofie was going to die. We were going to put her down. Her hips were done. So I went that night and I was so sad that Wolfie was going to die. So what I did is I got a cup of tea and I built a fire and I laid down. Wolfie couldn't go up the stairs. So I spent the night with Wolfie just right beside her on the floor and lived in that sadness and went, this is sadness. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
Can you love someone else if you're living in that?
Yeah, if you're accepting it.
Yeah.
See, now come here. Come join me in the sadness. But what if you're in non-acceptance and you're sad? I'm sad. No one loved me. I'm sad. Don't touch me right now. I'm sad.
Hey.
But here's the experience. Sadness is just an experience. I know you love it because you'll turn on any movie that makes you cry and love it. I don't know why you want to turn it on in a movie and make yourself cry, but you don't like it in real life. Maybe in real life, you're just like too busy worried that you're a victim, thinking that you're getting gypped. I'm getting the short end of the stick here. My dog's dying. No, what about the beauty part of it? What about their life and that we've been together and they're leaving now and we've been together. We might be together again and look at how beautiful it is. What about that? What about the wisdom in that? What about the wisdom in knowing everything's going to die?
Yeah.
And how about not taking advantage of other people's death with your own victimhood? Living in this victim mode that somebody died in your life. Guess what? Everyone's mom's going to die. Everyone's. And then when someone goes, my mom died, as if it's unique. Everyone's going to die. Going to lose it. We might as well enjoy it. We can enjoy it. We can enjoy everything. We can be in joy and say, this is the experience that I'm getting. Look at the gratitude here. I get this experience.
Every time my sister had a friend die or somebody died that she knew, it was her best friend.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They always have, everyone gets a lot of best friends right when they die. A lot of best friends on Facebook.
Too bad the person that died didn't know that.
I know people-
Like,
Chris, you talked to him once.
I know people on Facebook that had 39 best friends so far.
Yeah.
You know? Like, wow, you know. So this handling pain thing, you know, doing our part. Everyone gets some. Everyone gets enough. Everyone gets some of theirs, and you got to eat your fair share. So what I'm working on here and what I talk about here is a solution for this, like a recovery program. Like I used to not be able to handle pain. I used to have an event and it would take me weeks, if not months, to get to acceptance. And I used to, if drug addicts are really honest with themselves, if you're really honest with yourself as a drug addict, you looked for events. You looked for negative events to happen in your life so you could have an excuse to use. People do that. If you're honest. So you see that all of a sudden you start being able to get to a point where, and that's what I'm trying to work on here, is that what happens to us when we experience this pain, and how do we not dump it on other people? That was the problem in my family. My sisters, I had 2 older sisters and mom and dad and 3 nephews. And my problem was I wouldn't eat my fair share of the pain. I didn't like my part of the pain. So everyone in the family was getting some, but I got it. And then I went and did drugs when I got mine. What's going on?
I have a question. It's kind of irrelevant, though.
Wow. Let's go right after this.
Okay.
Let's not do irrelevant questions either. That's crazy.
That was great.
That was kind of, it was classic Jack or classic Joseph being like that.
It's not too.
So, okay. So what we're trying to learn here is, where do I go? How do I become that white ball and have these irritants and restlessness and discontent and have that pain and non-acceptance? And how do I learn to sit still? Where do I go? What's my room? Where's the room for me? See, my room, you know, I use a light pain reliever. I know one of mine that's still left as a pain reliever in my life is food. Sometimes I have a bad day and I just want a pizza
And a bag of popcorn.
or I want a bowl of popcorn. So my room's the kitchen. I just go in there. But I think it's a lot safer than the other rooms I used to go into.
Yeah.
I used to go into the sex room. I used to go into the drug room. I used to go into the real dangerous rooms. Now I just like to go into the kitchen one. And the consequences will come later, but I'm working on it. Because I kind of still deal with a lot of pain. And so sometimes I need a little relief. And so this room that I want everyone to learn has nothing. Because I also go to the room with nothing. When I'm experiencing tremendous pain, I go to the room that has nothing. Always. I choose the room with nothing. I'm in tremendous pain. I will not use. Now's not the time. Now's not the time for gambling. Now's not the time for sex. Now's not the time for drugs. Now's not the time for food. Now's not the time for distractions. Now's not the time for TV. Now's the time to sit with this pain.
Did this look like this?
Somebody died. It's really not going my way. All my money's gone. This is the time for wisdom. This is the time for calmness. This is the time to sit and don't make a move, because if you make a move, it's going to be a mistake. So this is the time. You don't want to say anything to people. You don't want to talk to people and tell them something, say something. You don't want to have a really bad day at work and have something really go wrong and come home and take that out on your family. You don't want to have an issue with your wife and take it out on your kids. And you don't want to have, you want to be able to be big to handle these things. And for that, you need a place that you go where it's just you and you. In the most times of pain, don't use. And that time where you're alone in the deepest, the hardest, the most difficult pain, that is when you're it's like the gym. That's when you're working out the muscle that handles pain. You know, we have a brain that's hardwired to not handle pain. it's got a pain threshold, and it says, as soon as it reaches right here, my mind says, fuck it, go get high. And we have to put that threshold up. So if someone's in the program and their life's just not, gaining momentum or getting where they want to go quick enough, this thing will tell you, fuck it. There's nothing to lose, but there is. It's a lie. I always call it people's relapses. It's like, dude, it's like early recovery is like pushing water in a boat. It's like you're just pushing water. And at some point in early recovery, it just starts planing and you just start going across very easy and life becomes easy again. And then you get high and the boat just stops. And it's just like, boom, dead in the water. And no matter what you tried to convince yourself of, or no matter what you tried to say to get high, when you're trying to get that momentum going again, it's freaking hard. It's hard to just go do that. So important that you have this like, okay, check in here. I'm not being wise about my pain. I'm starting to resist it. I'm starting to be living in non-acceptance. Okay, what am I going to do? Can't live here in non-acceptance and complain about life and bitch and moan and do that for very long before I'll be high. So I need to just pull off. I need to just go into this room alone and check in. Just take a breath and be wise. Love yourself. Oh, this is pain. This is happening. I'm not getting my way. Acceptance. Sit. So I told these guys here today, I said, I'm not an expert about much, but I am in this field. I am an expert at handling pain. I've learned my fair share, buried both of my parents, held their hand when they've died, watched all the things happen in my life since sobriety, since I've gotten sober. And I've learned to accept it all. Dogs dying, mom's dying, dad's dying, best friend's son's dying, people are dying. It's life. It's life. All my money taken is gone. Ooh, that was fun. All my money's gone. Cool. Worked for 10 years for that. It's all gone. Sweet. Let's move on. Let's rebuild. Yeah. Oh, my house is gone? Cool. Let me sit with that. That's all right. It's all right. So it's all okay. When I find myself resisting the current moment, I just think about how unwise that is. Pain is resistance to what is. Just imagine how the stupidity or the ignorance in that. Just to resist the facts.
That you could change it.
Yeah. Just to have the conversation that starts out, people should.
Yeah.
Really?
You should.
Yeah, you should. People should. How come people don't?
I don't.
Yeah. Why is it like this? How come it's like this?
I
wish they would only do this. How come he doesn't do this? How come she doesn't do that?
I always do this and they don't.
I always do this. They never do this. Oh, God, the lack of wisdom there. Why would you resist the facts? I just don't understand people. Cool, do that then. Just go around not understanding people. But do you not understand people? Or are you just trying to point out that people are stupid? You ever hear someone, I just don't understand how somebody could throw their life away with drugs. I bet you haven't thrown your life away with drugs. And they always go, I haven't. I go, good. I'm glad you don't understand. Fucking do that then, genius.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I don't understand how people could smoke cigarettes. Really? I had a guy last night. I was at the poker table and I ordered a BLT. Now I'm expecting a nice closing night little BLT. Bacon, lettuce, tomatoes, just a nice thing. I get delivered a BLT that has no shit. The dude drops it off and he goes, there's a half pound of bacon on there. Half pound. You know what a half pound of bacon looks like on a sandwich? That tall. On both. That tall with bacon. And I go, oh, and I'm sitting there, I got my headphones in, but I can hear rumblings at the table. And the guy goes, and from across the table, the dude goes, And by the way, he's vaping and drinking a Coke. And he goes from the top across the table, he goes, a lot of sodium in there. And I'm like, yeah. And they're just criticizing and making fun of my meal. And it's obnoxious. So I take all the bacon off and I just have a little tiny BLT and I just have this pile of bacon scraps. But I didn't want that much bacon, but they're making fun of my meal and piling on, you know, and I'm starting to go, well, look at you, you know,
A lot of vaping.
yeah, it's like, I don't, the dude's vaping and drinking a Coke going, I don't understand how you can eat that much sodium at night. It's like, dude, really? Look at you. I can understand in fact, I can understand everything that people do. I get it. I get almost everything that people do. I truly understand it because I've done almost everything people say they don't understand why you would do that. I've done it. So I understand deeply. I don't understand why people would steal. Really? You ever been out of crack? I bet you haven't. There. That's why I stole. I'm out of crack.
Yeah, you try to be out of crack.
You'll sit in front of a supermarket waiting for an 80-year-old so you can take your purse. I'm telling you, it's good shit. So what do you mean you don't understand, or are you just being arrogant? So, you know, this is this thing, resisting the way people are. You don't understand Democrats, you don't understand Republicans. I do. You can pretty much tell you what they like. They're pretty clear. And you can look at both sides and go and know what they hate. They're pretty clear. What don't you understand? What are we not understanding here? What are we doing resisting all the time? It is this way. I don't have to suffer. I can't believe we only get Trump or Biden. Well, you know what? It's like a cartoon. It's amazing. Who wrote this script? You know, who wrote it? It's just a beautiful script. How can you not sit back and enjoy the buffoonery? You know, like two buffoons. Just, you know, it's like awesome. It's awesome. How do we even get to a place like this? You know, such a great cartoon. It's like there's got to be a God. He's up there like, get a load of this. You know, like dude that ran The Apprentice. You want to make him president. I was thinking to myself, man, if I had a Cinnabon, I would not let Trump run it. No way. No way, dude. You know? Yeah, just like it's like, can you just see him applying for like the Cinnabon? Like, dude, can I run your? They're like, dude, you're gonna steal from the till or something. Yeah. Same with Biden. Like Biden comes into it's like, where are you gonna put him at the Walmart?
Oh my gosh!
Like, are you putting him as general manager or greeter? You know, and you know, come on, this is our choice. You know? Sorry if I offended anyone. Please just don't resist what I'm saying. It's kind of funny. By the way, I'm neutral. I think they're equally screwed.
Yeah.
You know?
How screwed do you want to really get?
Yeah, but I accept it. I don't turn on the news and go complain for about 3 hours after the news. How could they be doing this and how could they be doing that? Well, they're doing that. That's how. That's what they're doing. It's like that. That's why dogs are so lovable. You look at dogs, they're barely ever resisting the way it is. You know, the dogs are kind of always acceptance, except when you get that barking, yapping dog. No one likes that dog because it's just in non-acceptance. It's like, dude, you know,
You can find it.
you know. So most of the times these dogs are lovable creatures, but when they're in non-acceptance, they're not. They're very irritating. It's like, why are you barking? Nothing's happening. So here we are, dealing with our own pain. The question I have for you tonight is, what room do you go into? Do you go into the food room? Do you go into the complaining room? Do you go vent with the bottle of wine with your friend? What room do you relieve your pain in? And if not, then how did you learn how to not do that? Where do you go to just like be alone with your pain and just go, I accept. This is the way it is. This is what's happening. All this relationship pain that I'm seeing, You know, it takes wisdom to love another human being. It takes wisdom to look at another human being and love another human being and go, guess what? They're fallible. They make mistakes. They're not perfect. Be able to do that, that takes wisdom. It takes getting rid of your own shit. Getting to a place where you're just accepting the way it is. Oh, it wasn't personal. People get high in the program sometimes. It's not personal. They weren't out there going, I'm going to really screw Art this time. Where's that foil? It wasn't personal. Feels real personal. It's like, how dare you do this to me? It's like, dude, I got high. What do you mean? Yeah. So here we are. Trying to become wise. That's why addiction's so beautiful. Look at all the pain it causes. Look at all the growth. It's like where it's at. I have to live here. This is the biggest pain hub in Vegas. I gotta be here. This is where all the pain's at, man. I gotta be where the pain's at or I'm not growing. I gotta be where the pain's at or I'm bored as hell. I gotta be where the pain's at. Imagine if I'm in a place right now and there's no pain. It's just all acceptance. How boring is that? I'd have to like yell at someone, screw it up and get it moving. I want peace and quiet. No, you don't. No, you don't. I won't work.
You're just gonna sit, get angry.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? You can turn the TV on as soon as it gets quiet.
Yeah.
Watch some bullshit drama. How many women I know are watching that women killed their husband show? Snapped. Oh, watching that shit. Jesus. Come in and your lady's watching Snapped.
And she's like, and she says, she made a mistake right there.
Yeah.
I would have done that.
She's watching Snapped. Yeah. Every Dateline, just couples killing each other.
Yeah. You catch your wife in the car with some guy going, 10 grand, I'll give, just kill him.
Yes.
I
Yes.
need 10 grand. 5 now and 5 when it's done.
Yes. So, the wisdom to love myself, calling myself an experience, not a list of circumstances, but just an experience, the overall experience of being me today. Sometimes it sucks. Sometimes it's really good. I like it both. I actually kind of like when it sucks to be me. It's like, yes, Art's having difficulty. Cool. This is cool. I can accept. Things aren't going my way. Ooh, big loss. I like when a big loss comes in or someone tells me something's really going wrong in my life. Hey, Art, guess what? You're not going to want to hear this. Yes. Yes. I do. I'm cool. Let's go. What is it? Is it really fucked up? You know? Made this big, beautiful bowl of soup today. The most beautiful, meaty. I put sirloin steak in it, and the meat was tenderized, and this soup was deluxe. It was about probably $100 bowl of soup, feeding everyone.
Steak is $60.
Went upstairs, and I was really panicked. I was panicked when I went upstairs that I would come back down to an empty pot. And I did. But it wasn't because people ate it. It was because someone came over and decided to just throw it on the floor. You know? This big bowl of soup, he went, you know what? Yeah, threw it over the floor. So I knew I just wasn't going to get my way with this soup. But
You should have seen it in the laundry basket.
oh, yeah.
Is that what you were throwing out? I was like, what?
He wasn't throwing it out. He, yeah. All right. So, where did we lose Justin? Okay. So we're going to just have a little conversation if anyone has any questions. You know, I hear a lot of the questions people have after group. And it's devastating to me because I would love to talk about this stuff during the group. Yeah.
What do you do when you can't go to the empty, quiet room?
What do you do when you can't go to the empty and quiet room? Well, the question I have is, how many times have you been there already?
You tried it?
Have you done it? Have you got used to it? Have you went there? And this empty, quiet room that I'm talking about is, of course, figurative and metaphoric. It's not really. It's in our head. It's a place we go when the body's experiencing pain. It's a place that we go over here and we take ownership and we be wise and we be responsible. And we say, this is what's going on with me. And we sit there.
Nobody else is hearing you.
And nobody else is hearing it. We're not talking. We're just checking in with ourselves. We're recognizing it. We're just allowing for the pain, and then just going, now, why am I in this pain, guys? Why am I in this pain? What's going on with me? What's my part?
But I also think you could also call it quiet room. Another one that's not for that. It's for, it's for hiding.
Hey. Yeah.
It's for hiding. It's for you got so much going on around you that you got to deal with, but you don't want to deal with it, so you go and you run and you get away from it. You get a place where you're not going to be confronted with it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Do you go to the gym to go to the gym, or do you go to the gym because you're in pain and that's a pain relief? And I always hear people talking about gardening and all these weird things that they do to pain relief. And I just say, what are you avoiding? What are you avoiding? Are you avoiding actually face to face with the pain, sitting there with it, facing it, being about it, accepting it? It's such a cool spot if you can go there. So most people say, it's like people that say the same thing. They say, I can't meditate. It's like, really? Meditation is watching the breath. You can't do that. That's it. And going to this pain room is just going there. It's just going, okay, I'm in the store. I'm very angry at this line. And I take a breath and I go, what am I going through here? Look at all the discomfort and disease over this little thing. Wow. And I practice with the small stuff. And I get bigger and bigger. And then pain comes and somebody says something I don't like. And then I feel that pain in my body. And it gets loud and irritable here. And you feel that pain. But you got to be able to close your eyes and go, this is what's happening. It's fine. I'm bigger than this. I don't need to run.
Can't change it.
Can't change it.
And we want to change it so bad sometimes.
Yeah. I want to alter this moment. And I want to look at it as is.
Okay, let's open it up out there. There's a raise your hand feature on your device. Let's see if I can do it here. I'm practicing here so you can see me. Raise your hand feature on your device there. If y'all out there have a comment, a question, anything, we really want to hear from you. So please use the raise your hand feature, or if you can't figure that out, you can just unmute yourself. You can say hello in the chat, whatever you got to do to get my attention. And we've got plenty of time, so we hope that we can hear from lots of you. So, who is first?
Hey, Angie.
Hey, hey, Jeff.
Hi. How you doing?
Hi. Good. Hey there. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you and Art.
Thanks, bud. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, see you tomorrow for sure.
Okay.
You still want me to call you in the morning?
Yep.
Okay,
I'll out to
I'll
get
call you.
Okay.
I'll call you with the details. Okay, I really super appreciate it.
You're going to the house where Brad is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my buddy, dude.
Yeah.
That's my buddy. Yeah, is he all right?
Yeah, he's all right.
He's Brad.
Okay, good. I want to go. I can't wait to. That's just what I needed to hear.
Brad.
All right.
I'm
There's
so serious. I'm so looking forward to it.
Yeah.
There's Brad waving
Yeah.
at you. He's at the kid shop there. He's waving at you there.
Oh, is he? Okay. Cool.
All right. Yep. Give us a call in the morning.
I will for sure. For sure. You guys are great. Thank you. Thank you. You talked about a lot of good stuff. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, pretty simple, basic, but right to the point, right to the reality of it.
Yeah.
I think so.
Living in resistance.
That's a rough one.
Trying to alter the current moment with whatever we can.
Yeah. Well, it hasn't been working for 4 years, so here I come.
Yeah. All right, but
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Thank you.
all right. You guys, please, it's so difficult. Tell me what you got to get off your chest.
All right, who's next out there?
Okay, Justin wants to ask a question.
All right.
This is in regards to you saying what you want. I guess your role in our lives is to help us get what we want, right? So I just want to, I guess, be able to visualize that more clearly.
Well,
But I don't know. How do you go about doing that in the least abstract way possible?
okay, so you can, if you come to me and tell me that you want some Jordans, I'm not going to help you get the Jordans. If you come to me and say, I want to have my own home, I'm not going to teach you how to get a home. If you come and say that I want this girlfriend, I'm not going to teach you how to get a girlfriend. But I'm going to teach you how to handle pain, which is power. And when I can handle pain, I am a powerful person. And powerful people never cower to victimization and resistance. And that will give you the perseverance and the durability to attain anything you want. Yeah.
What if I wanted you as some type of, forgive me if you don't like this word, but mentor in terms of some business or
Yeah.
endeavor?
Well, that's the premium package, haven't you? that one's very costly. I don't know if I'm that. I can teach you to handle pain, and that's all you need. If you listen, if you do this, I'll teach you how to handle pain, and then you'll figure everything else out on your own. And that's what we had to do along the way. I just bought a house, Justin, and closed on a house that I've had for a long time that I was leasing. But that house, the pain of that, the pain of everything falling through all the time, 5 different loans that I took to underwriting, falling through, all the stuff that happened, the resistance that I had to face from that. And those are the kind of pain we're talking about. Is facing that resistance and going, oh, it fell through. That's fine. I have faith it'll work out a different way. And then again, and then again, and again. So you finally complete it. And then you go, oh, okay. That's how you do that. You just keep going. It's pretty cool. And then all the pain along the way is just like growth. It's like, yeah, I got to learn a little more here or something. What's up? You learn. You grow and learn and experience the pain. And
What can I do to not make this happen again?
yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to do that again. That was stupid. That cost me 6 months. Yeah, I could have said that up front, So there's a big thing we do. And the number one pain reliever above all, worldwide, number one pain reliever in the world is complaining. That's it. It's the number one pain reliever in the world. So there's 2 things that are happening when we're complaining. One thing is that our life's not going our way. And 2 is that we feel it's not our fault. And so, and 3, we feel righteous about it. So 1, we feel righteous, and the righteousness is pain leaving our body. So when we're speaking in a righteous tone, when we're saying it shouldn't be this way, we're saying we don't understand people, we're saying how could it be like this, when we're saying why would they do this, that's righteousness. And righteousness is pain leaving our body. It's non-acceptance leaving our body through like a tea kettle spout. So it just spouts out. So that righteousness is a pain reliever. I get to be right. I get to be a victim. I get to say it's not my fault. I get to be off the hook. And I get to point out someone else's wrongness. And I have an excuse why my life isn't going my way. So that's why it's such a beautiful pain reliever. It has no intrinsic value. It does nothing. But people use it all day, every day. So when you realize it, this complaining, what you're realizing is that you're letting your pain out through these complaints. And by letting your pain out, you're not growing. So actually learning to sit with that pain and accept the way people are, accept what happened to you, to accept this stuff and go, that's what they did. Okay, what's next for me? What am I doing next here? How am I going to communicate to them? What's up? And to live in that acceptance is loving yourself. And to live in that non-acceptance is self-hatred. So I just now spew my self-hatred all over the world. My friend that I bought my treatment center, Cindy Brown, I used to complain that all the people in the groups, when I bought it, I'd go sit in the groups. I didn't do groups at this point. I was just a newbie. So I would go in the groups and everyone would just complain. And then I go, well, this sucks. All they do is complain about their life, you know? And the judge, the probation officer, their mom and dad, their girlfriend, their husband, their wife, their boyfriend. And I would sit there and listen. And then I go, why don't they talk about anything else? And she goes, they can't manifest what they don't have. So if you have that irritation and all that in your body, the only thing you can manifest is that. That's all you can do is dump irritable words. And so we have to see that it's our own irritation, that it's our own restlessness causing it. I used to not be able to sit still. It's taken me everything in this lifetime to be able to sit still. I used to not be able to, I called anything that was not pleasure pain. Across the board. Making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, pain. Took too long. Toast, pain.
Just get a half of.
Yeah, just get a piece of bread.
No.
Don't need no toast. Takes too long. Shaving, oh my God, I'm not going to shave. It's so painful. I have to stand there. Making my bed, that's not fun. Laundry, that's not fun. Mowing a lawn, I'm not doing that. That's not fun. That's how I live my life. I was just a pleasure seeker.
You're a pain seeker.
Now I seek pain. Ooh, somebody telling me I'm a piece of shit? That's fun. That's fun. Let's see how that feels. Somebody challenging, saying I'm wrong. Okay, I've been there before. Feels good. Somebody dying. Okay. That sucks. But that goes on. There it is. We wake up. Wake up. Wake up to your own pain. Stop running from it. Wake up to your own restlessness. Get to neutrality over it. There it is, neutral. It's fine. This is how I feel. They did that to me. Okay. Well, maybe they'll have questions later tonight and they can ask their friends. Text them to Ange.
Nobody has a question? Come on. Mom?
You see the rest tonight, tonight we have a restless, irritable, and discontent room full.
The dog was farted.
Yeah.
The dog is farted.
Well,
Prior to that.
see what they're supposed to do when the dog farts is accept it.
Yeah.
You just smell it and enjoy it. It's another, yeah.
Yes, the pain Barker was in this morning. You should be happy he's
Do
okay.
you want to give them an update on Mocha out there and then we can close it up?
What happened to Mo?
Well, what do you mean what happened to Mocha? We have Mocha Vet.
Oh,
You told everybody about Mocha last week and people have been asking.
oh, Mocha.
Mocha.
No, we pulled her out of school and she's doing just fine. She was traumatized by the school.
Yeah, and she's
Where's Jolie? Jolie's right here next to me.
Look at that dirty foot.
Yeah, right, she's right
Right here, Jolene's right here. The room is actually there's a lot of people y'all can't see.
I think Brad was asking.
This is a full.
No.
That's right.
Oh, your mom.
There's a whole crew you all can't see out there. Oops, I'm pushing all these buttons. We only have so many cameras set up and yeah, you can only see that corner.
I love you.
So yeah, we got lots of people here. All right, you want to close up?
Yeah, I just I'm interested in it, you know. I've always been interested in it from the time I got sober and the time I read Eckhart and the time that I learned what pain was. See, I never knew what it was. I never even knew I was in pain. I just said my job sucks, these people suck. You know, this is boring, that bank line sucks, this restaurant sucks. And I just complained about life. And I didn't know that I was in pain. And I just was a brilliant master at pointing out everything that sucked and how everyone should be. And I was real good. And I could dissect the room, and it would only take me a few minutes to figure out how everyone else sucked. I was really good at it. And I could figure out how people were wrong and how they sucked and how stupid they were. It only took me seconds. I was really good. And it was a long road to realize that I did all that stuff because I was in pain. I did that to learn that I was pointing out people that sucked and why they sucked. And I did that because I was in pain, and I couldn't stand in the line because I was in pain, and my job sucked because I was in pain, and everything sucked because I was in pain. And then I realized what pain was, which was really cool because it was just resistance to the facts. Like, I just got to accept the facts, and I got to like have some gratitude for the current moment. And then I had to develop a place where I go, and it's just me and me. It's the place of the most extreme pain, and I don't need anyone there with me at that time. I don't need to vent. I don't need to talk to no one. I need to sit there and grow. And I need to sit like that white wall and just let the red irritate get out. Because if I go around people when I'm in that kind of pain, I might say something mean. I might not be the nicest. I might not be able to love other people. So I like to wait until all the redness is gone so that I can, you know, actually love other people and be open to it. So learning this thing about what wisdom is. We have to have wisdom to love. And in order to have wisdom, we have to be wise about our own pain and love ourselves. And to love ourselves means to love the experience of my pain too. I love my pain. I love my sorrow. I love every part of the experience of being art. And I have gratitude for it because it's all I got. And everything that is seemingly the bad stuff that people want to run from and try to hide from, that's all the stuff that makes the good stuff good.
They're running away, you're running towards it.
Yeah, it's the stuff that makes the good good.
Yeah.
Sorry, but you can't have happiness without sadness.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, and you appreciate
You
it.
can't have gain without loss. Sorry. So if you're not ready for loss, then you're never going to have gain. You're always going to be holding on too tight. So you get all of it. You get the good stuff.
Because
This is about pain and pleasure and wisdom and love and coming to eventually giving yourself the opportunity to always be at that clearing. And the clearing I talk about is a free mind, an open heart, powerful inside, no victimization, all the pain gone, standing at that clearing with the hope that I can love another human being. Also, when I'm at that clearing, it just has to show up. The other person just has to be there. It doesn't even matter who it is. If I'm in that clearing, I can find love. But it takes work to stay there. Loving ourselves is the key. Loving our experience so we can stand at that clearing. So thank you. See you next week.
Thank you, everybody. See you next week. Good night. Good night. Get your auction tickets. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Good night.